Celebrating the win of the Philadelphia Eagles, restoring democracy to the NFL. It's the Vox Cascadia podcast.
Connor, can you name me one Eagles player?
Jalen Hurts.
Can you name me two Eagles players?
No, I cannot. Saquon Brown, I think.
Saquon Barkley.
Barkley, damn it. Okay. Yeah. No, I can't. I'm not much of a football guy, but I wanted the Chiefs to lose. I was mostly watching for Kendrick's show, though.
Kendrick's show was really good. I never watched the halftime show. I'm a sports ball guy, so halftime is actually halftime for me too. But I was glued to the TV with Kendrick, also because the game itself was it went the way I wanted it to, because I didn't want the Chiefs to win for a third freaking time in a row. But the halftime show was amazing. Tyler, did you watch the Kendrick halftime show?
Yeah, Kendrick halftime show was really good. So absolutely the best part of that. So other than that, I don't really watch tennis.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's understandable. So it was a good tennis match though. So
yeah,
Tyler, it wasn't
like
tennis.
30 love or something like that.
No, it was tennis. It wasn't tennis. It was cricket.
Okay, cricket. Oh, okay. I see those games are very similar to me also. Like there's like a ball and you're like hitting it with like a paddle of some sort. So same game.
Yeah, it's cricket. Actually, and as a sports ball guy, I do not know how cricket works.
I don't either.
Cricket, rugby, Australian rules football, none of those.
I kind of know rugby because a couple of my friends played it in high school, and they all ended up breaking their arms. So rugby to me just seems like a good way of getting your arm broken.
Yeah, I'm good not playing rugby.
Yeah, lacrosse. That's the hardcore sport, in my opinion.
Lacrosse seems pretty tough.
Pretty sticky.
What?
Oh God, that was rough.
Oh, okay.
Lacrosse stick. It was a bad joke.
I don't think they're called sticks.
I'm like 90% sure it's called a stick.
I don't think they are actually. I think it's a. Let's see. What's it called? Lacrosse stick. Let's see. Complete attack.
Look at that. Lacrosse stick.
There you go.
Yeah. Connor knows a little bit of things. I'm Chuck. I don't believe him ever, though.
That's a good Chuck impression, actually, because you're correct. I don't.
I run a bank. My girlfriend's name is Jenna. I'm good friends with Nick, and I hate AdMech. I'm Chuck. I have a nice beard.
Yeah,
he nailed it.
I mean, dead on. Like,
yeah, exactly. No one will even be able to tell since it's an audio.
You forgot to say vegetarian.
Yeah. I did. Yeah. Shit.
Jeez, man. You can just be me for the rest of the podcast, and I'll be Connor.
Wow. This is gonna get weird.
This is what we got to do for April Fools now.
It'll actually be exactly like normal. No one would be able to tell the difference. So
nobody will be able to tell at all. So Chuck, you need to rip on me as Connor the entire time, okay?
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. So gentlemen, it's chilly outside. Here in the Pacific Northwest, it's that time of year that we get every year or so. Snowmageddon is coming. There's predictions. It's in the low 30s right now. It's going to get down in the 20s, and we're projected to have upwards of an inch of snow. And if you know anything about Portland and the Pacific Northwest, an inch of snow, shut us down. Shut the city down.
Absolutely. No one's going anywhere. No one will be, it'll be. And the thing is, if you try to go anywhere, you're just going to be stuck in traffic because someone will have wrecked.
Oh yeah. If you go look up like Seattle, like snow, and you can see the people that just try and navigate the hills in Seattle in cars that aren't equipped for it, on tires that aren't equipped for it, and it's just like an ice rink. So the worst part is, like, the store shelves are bare. I could not find any organic kale. It's gone. It's just gone.
What are you going to do for your smoothie tomorrow morning?
I have no idea. I guess I'm just going to starve.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to have to eat the dog.
Have you seen those memes that's like a typical life or a typical day in the life of like a Portland driver, typical life in the day of a Seattle driver?
I have not, actually.
I'll have to find those. They're very dead on. We'll post it on our social media, repost those, and you guys can all see what I'm talking about. But it is dead on for what it's like living in the Pacific Northwest and your average life of a commuter,
Connor, are you ready for Snowmageddon? You just stock up on Diet Dr. Pepper?
No, we already had our snow. That was like all last week for us. As far as I know, my forecast is clear.
I think you should check your forecast again, but
Mhm.
your forecast is the same as ours. Actually, you're supposed to get like an inch of snow like tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I'm getting like alerts on my phone. I'm getting alerts from my job, like the workplace that I go to every week. That's weird. Also,
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, huh? We got
Tyler's in.
snow.
yeah.
Tyler's in. Oh yeah, snow. Yeah. I mean, nice thing is you can just take your insulin and just put it outside. You don't even have to put it in the fridge.
I mean, I'm not gonna do that because it's already perfectly fine in the fridge. But I guess I could if like disaster struck.
Do you have like a separate insulin fridge? I'd get like one of those like little tiny fridges
No,
just for my
we have
insulin.
a mini fridge and I use like the deli drawer in that.
So you got like cold cuts, and then insulin, which is, by the way, did the price on insulin get jacked back up again?
Not yet, but I haven't had to buy it in like the last month. So when I go to buy it again, probably.
That's good. That's fun stuff in the world. So
It's feeling real stable in the world right now. So
yeah, price of eggs is like rock bottom right now. No kale on the shelves, but
mhm.
eggs are like, they literally, you walk in the store, they just hand you like a dozen eggs. They're just giving them away. So anyways, world's great. But what have you guys been up to in the hobby? This is a Kill Team podcast, so after all, sort of.
I played a game with goats last week.
You played with goats, or like you
I
were
as
in a
goats.
pasture?
No, I mean I was playing the Felgor Ravagers.
Gotcha.
Um, I played them into mandrakes, and the goats stomped the mandrakes real hard.
Tyler, have you had like a change of heart? Because I feel like when the goats came out, you got them all painted up, as you and I have mentioned many times. Goats are one of the funnest teams to paint. But then I felt like you weren't on the goat vibe at all. You weren't feeling them.
I mean, like they were great. They just weren't for me. And I just wanted to give them a spin. I think that they're a big boogeyman right now, and you gotta understand them if you want to beat them. So, putting in some reps with them. Um, they're definitely like on my rotation of playable teams at the moment. I think that they're quite good. Like I think they have like a lot of potential to go the distance. I think Void Dancers are right there with them also, to be super super annoying. Um, so, I'm who knows? Any tournament I may show up with them, may show up with Hand or someone else. I've been, kind of theory crafting on.
So what are you bringing to our tag team tournament? Brandon's apparently bringing like 10 Zangors.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll go. I'll go. It's also, just be a beastie time for everyone, or maybe I'll bring Hand, because they're a lot of fun. I do have, like it's a good opportunity to play a lot of matches, and I've been working on some ideas about how to change up Hand of the Archon and the way I'm playing them that may be a little bit more effective. Some techs that haven't been unlocked by other people. So I may bring them. Pretty good chance of that.
Now, Connor, I want to get to your hobby portion, but I have some breaking news actually on the podcast. I just got a text message from Nick. It's 8:15 Pacific Standard Time on Wednesday, the 12th. Tyler, do you remember a while back we were actually talking about making our own nippers for the hobby with replaceable blades?
Yeah, absolutely. Did someone do it?
Someone did it. It's on
Fucking,
Kickstarter.
I fucking told you guys. I was like, oh, this is a perfect idea, and someone fucking did it.
Someone did it. I sent you a link in Discord.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and so we're beaten to the punch. So the
Someone
slice,
heard the podcast, and they did it.
I think
They
that's
did
what
it.
it is actually. Actually, they look pretty good too. They're so the
This is
slice nipper.
Fuckers.
Yeah. Estimated delivery. Wow, there's only 67 backers, huh?
So here's the thing that looks weird on this. Like looking at this to me. Their goal was only 5K on here.
I mean,
Pretty low.
you get that's what they need to get it out the door apparently,
Hmm.
which is good because they've only had 67 people pledge. So What's 67 times 49? Connor?
Have they? I'm saying it says
Oh.
384 backers.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's a couple different levels of the Kickstarter. So
See, the thing that worries me about these ones, okay, and the low cost is like, why is there so many parts on this? You know,
I mean,
like there's a lot of extra parts and bolts and stuff like that on here. I think that the overall it looks really good, but like I'm just seems weird.
I mean, maybe it's because they don't have since stuff's not getting they're not getting forged stuff as much. I think. Whereas like you have, I mean, the God hands are basically like two pieces, a screw and a spring, right? Maybe that's it. Maybe they're going to be far more customizable even too. Maybe. I don't know. I might have to back this actually.
Well, there's like a couple variations. It looks like on the like blade you can swap in and out for like different things. So that's part of it probably.
Yeah.
Definitely cool to have that level of like customization. It's like a Swiss Army knife.
The thing that also I would say worries me about this is I would want to build off of a kind of standardized nipper blade that's already available, because there's a couple like major blades that are available on like out there for things like the Leathermans and things. So I may back this. It's not that much on there, like
I mean, they've got one for $69. How can you not back that one?
Absolutely. I mean, like I just backed a book. It went to pledge yesterday. Did you guys see that? The 28 collected.
No, is that like 28 magazine or whatever?
Yeah, physical print. So
nice.
They're doing like a limited run of like a hardbound book of like all of the current ones. So I think that's really cool. I'm really excited about that.
You know what? There's one left of the $69 one. I'm gonna pledge right now on the podcast if I can remember what my Kickstarter login is. Actually, I can. Oh, yeah. So maybe I'll get to it later. But that's pretty cool. We had talked about it. I think we'd even kind of like mocked it up, a very very crude mock up, but it's pretty neat. Yeah. I know Tyler. I've never had this issue, but I know you've had the issue where we've broken God hands, right?
Like they just bent a little bit at the tip. I was able to get them back, but they've never been quite as good.
I still don't understand what you were cutting with this. I snipped
literally
terrain
nothing. Literally
with my God
nothing
hands.
Special. I mean, I got my new low end God hands that eat terrain alive.
Were they? Are you sure they were God hands, or they maybe like demigod hands? Because my God hands.
Yeah. So like they're like a different style of God hands. They're made for cutting thicker stuff. I don't know. I usually like. I don't know. I wasn't that impressed with the God hands anyway. So that's how I feel about it. I have opinions about nippers.
Sir, you were incorrect. God hands
they're great. They feel buttery. I mean, I bought them the first time I used them. Don't get me wrong. They feel fantastic. I just think for like how I hobby, I like to cut away from the sprue a little bit farther, and then use a knife to smooth it out. And that's just like my preferred method.
So you're clipping it where it's like thicker overall rather than like the little tiny. Okay, I can see why that could be like a slight issue, but
yeah, I mean, like I know like with the God hands you needed to cut like super close because that's like the advantage of them. But like, and it was good. Like I said, super buttery. But I just feel like there was still like cleanup to do, and sometimes like it was just not as like it didn't benefit me anymore.
I mean, there's always going to be some cleanup, but I feel like God hands just has less cleanup. Also, I just like it's.
But does it take any longer?
Yeah, but it's going to be less wear and tear on your hands. Mm-hmm. So when you're cutting a bunch of stuff out, because it is buttery, as you said.
Like I said, I think that these other God hands, the dual bladed ones, they just like they cut stuff. They got like a nice sharp carbide blade, and they eat stuff alive.
I actually didn't read the entire email or the entire text message that Nick sent me. It said, so he sent me a link of it, and then it says for Tyler because he hates God hands. I never got to that part. I just saw the original part.
I mean, like, God hands are the quality, like they deserve the praise that they get. They're just not for everyone.
Damn it! I was trying to get signed into my freaking Kickstarter, and now the 69 one isn't available.
I
Wow.
stole it out from under you.
Motherfucker, did
I
you?
did not. No, I didn't. That would be such an asshole move.
It was probably Nick.
It was probably Nick, actually. All right, I guess I'm getting the $49 one. So
What's oh, you just get less blades, it looks like.
I think so, but you can.
And you
add,
don't get the protective case, but that's okay.
What? No case? God damn it!
I mean, I'm out at that point. No case.
Let's see. So protective case, hex drive. Yeah, to get the hex, you get the
Also,
hex, you get
yeah.
the blade. Slice.
I don't know if we've ever said the proper name of this product we've been talking about for like 5 minutes. We're not sponsored by them, even though it sounds like it. But we're talking about Slice, the world's first snipper with dual replaceable blades, effortless precision, endless possibilities.
Yeah, Slice, sponsor us. You stole my idea. So at least you could do is send me a free pair.
We're never gonna get sponsored ever now.
No, not ever. Not ever.
No, I'm actually gonna send them this podcast once it's
when are
done,
we gonna get our Audible sponsor? Like them or like NordVPN? Everyone's got those guys.
I mean, I think really the one you really want. What's the
Raid Shadow Legends?
Raid Shadow Legends. That's when you know you've made it.
I have my friend also named Connor, but with only one N. He's been offered to be sponsored by them a multitude of times, but he doesn't want to.
Really?
Have you guys played Raid Shadow Legends?
No,
I have not. No.
Okay, no, I haven't either. I don't know what it is. I just see like the commercials, and the commercials confuse the fuck out of me. If I'm being
like
honest.
Sometimes they look like they're like kind of like a battle your friends like game, like a Pokemon thing, but with like fantasy characters. And other times it looks like a pocket idle game. I don't know what it is, but I've never had enough of a reason to download it.
Yeah, exactly.
Until we get sponsored by them.
Yeah, and then we'll be talking about how we've been playing Raid Shadow Legends forever.
Yeah.
Actually, an Audible Audible sponsorship, you literally just have to go to Amazon and like get your code. I don't even think you have to, like, Amazon doesn't reach out to you or anything. Like, I think you just go there and get a code, and then you get your free Audible. Like, or people can get a month free of Audible or whatever. So it's not so much them.
Why haven't you done that yet, Chuck?
I think that it's also their sponsorship is very much based on how much you bring in. So like it's going to.
And we bring in hundreds of thousands of viewers. We're the third most listened to podcast on Spotify.
Yeah, it's Joe Rogan. It's then
that Hawk to a Girl before she got arrested.
The crypto scam.
Did she get arrested actually?
I think so. I'm not sure. I don't pay attention to that.
Probably not.
No.
Probably got away with it. It's probably fucking Theo Vaughn, some fuckhead like that.
No, it's the it's the sex, the two chicks, the sex podcast.
I don't know.
What is it? God, now I don't fucking.
Now you sound like a freak.
Well, it's Call Me Daddy is what it is, or Call Her Daddy, I think, is the like number 2 podcast on the planet. So,
okay, that's a toxic podcast also.
But yes, Vox Cascadia is number 3 after Joe Rogan and Call Her Daddy.
Totally on brand. We have a very far reach, so it's clear why actually, we have so many sponsors and all of our big fans. Thank you guys. Speaking of big fans, we've got Zarin.
Zarin the man.
Absolutely. So
Zarin, I'm sorry they keep trying to do this to you, buddy.
I mean, at this
we're
point,
contractually obligated.
Yeah, I mean, we have to say Zarin's name once per podcast, and he just keeps. I mean, he's up to he's it's like $300 a month he's giving us right now. It's wild. So
he's paying my rent, actually. So thank you for that. It's a big load off of me.
Where do you live that your rent is $300 a month? Because
I want to get in with that.
Yeah.
I wish, I'm back in the year 2000 again.
Right. Living over some like coffee shop or something.
Yeah. Right. As downtown Portland in new construction. $300 a month. It was a 4-bedroom.
So rent controlled. That's it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, well, since we're on the topic real quick, actually, let's talk about our Patrons. So, thank you so much for the Patrons. Zarin, number 1 Patreon, because he pays us $300 a month and paying Tyler's rent. Jenna, Cody, Sam. I'm actually going to see Sam this weekend. I'm playing a game with Sam this weekend. Sean, who we had on podcast last week, my buddy Nick, Holly, Connor. Well, Connor's in the free tier. We have one person in the free tier. It's fucking Connor. Greg, Rob McLeod, Zach, and Scott. So thank you so much for paying Tyler's rent. We really appreciate it.
If we need money, I'll just send it to you rather than through Patreon. They're going to take a cut of that, Chuck.
It looks cooler though, so I can say like, I mean, they take like 75% of it, but it looks cooler.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll just give you that full like $2.
All right, send me $2.
No,
Yeah, but you just committed to that, man. So,
yep, I want to see it. Yeah. Anyways, back to Kill Team and hobby stuff. Connor, what have you been doing in the hobby?
I have been painting and building a fuck ton. I got 13 guardsmen painted up or primed up and in progress of being painted. I've got like a bajillion little tiny tanks being built. I built some airplanes. That was fun. I read a bunch of books about airplanes from 40K. That was really fun. And now it's time to just get that all painted and ready for Adepticon.
How's your terrain going?
Terrain's fine. I'm taking a bit of a backseat for that right now, just because I need this stuff to like get ready for Adepticon. But
so speaking of Adepticon, have you got plane tickets?
I have not. I'm buying those tomorrow, probably.
All right. So anytime you've in the past when you said like I'm buying that tomorrow, when we check with you the following week, you have not.
Tomorrow is payday, Chuck, so I can actually afford stuff.
Gotcha. Do they still pay government employees?
For now, until Doge cuts me out entirely.
Yeah, I didn't know they were doing that anymore.
It's probably my last check.
Well, do it to get some plane tickets. So what did you end up signing up for? Because I know you talked about for Adepticon signing up for 47 different things and bringing a metric ton of plastic with you. But what did you finally decide on actually doing?
So I'm definitely doing Legions Imperialis. That's what I've been building to. I'm very excited to do that because on I think Thursday I'm doing like an armored only, so like tanks and vehicles and knights type stuff. On Friday I was looking at doing at Horus Heresy, but I didn't think I'd have enough time to get like, I was thinking for Horus Heresy I could do a bunch of big robots like for Mechanicum. I just don't think I'd have space to have like 8 big boys or get them painted to a status I'd be happy with in that time. So I'm probably doing this another thing of Imperialis. And then for Kill Team Saturday and Sunday, I'm just bringing Vet Guard is the team I'm looking at because they look pretty fun, even if they're not necessarily good. But they're actually enjoyable to play. So that's nice.
You're bringing Vet Guard, huh?
I am, yes.
Wow.
I'm committing. I've primed the models. I got them all built minus their arms because I always hate myself and do slight amount of sub-assembly. But yeah, Vet Guard's the team for me now.
Are you gonna? What are you bringing to the March tournament?
Probably Vet Guard.
Tournament? Okay, all right.
Yeah, so AdMechs suck, man. I'm not bringing them. They look great. I love my guys, but there's so many people that have golden tickets now. So I'm like, I gotta get kind of good again. So then maybe I can get one.
Why are you bringing Vet Guard then? Why don't you bring?
Because I think with like the buffs they got, they'll fit in that niche of where I like to display one team and sink my teeth into it and learn every matchup and possibility, and then maybe through a little bit of luck and also just like, damn, this is a team you don't see a ton, so you can pull off some tricks that people aren't expecting. I can maybe snag one.
Tyler, do you think Vet Guard have the legs down to get a golden ticket?
Like maybe in the right hands. Are those hands Connors? Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if they're quite there. I think that they're still gonna run into elite teams and get chewed up pretty hard.
Yeah, I need to find the matchup and maybe they'll get some more. Worst case scenario, I'll just build some more and embrace Brandon because he thinks Blooded are still like top tier shit.
I mean, they
like
are
sleeper,
sure.
Yeah, and I mean they look like it. So I can always do an unblooded team if it comes to that. Like it's September and I'm still trying to chase one or something.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how everything shakes out in the end, but I think that the Vet Guard may have a tough time. Same with Hand of the Archon. I think that there's a couple matchups that are real rough for them.
Connor, I have to talk to you. So
I didn't do it. You have no proof. My lawyer is on the way.
Actually, I have text messages that say you did. So Tyler, this weekend, Nick was hanging around and didn't really have anything going on. And Nick's my partner for the tag team tournament coming up, or the team tournament we got coming up, and not this weekend, but next weekend. And Nick has not played many games of 3rd edition. And when I say not played many games of 3rd edition, I mean it hasn't played a single game of 3rd edition. So I was like, I need to get Nick a game of 3rd edition. So I started a group chat with me, him, and Connor at about 12 o'clock, about noon. I messaged the group and said, Connor, what are you doing today? Nothing. Crickets. About 2 o'clock, about a couple hours later.
It's only Connor 2 hours later. Not, I guess that is a couple.
Never mind. Okay. 2 hours later, Connor's like, oh, hey, what's going on? Nick, you need a game of Kill Team? I just woke up. 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon.
I'm still sometimes stupidly up late at night, and I spent most of that evening reading my new book. So
what's stupidly late at night for you?
Like 4 p.m. or a.m.
Okay, all right. Still, that's quite the sleep, man. Like I haven't been able to sleep like that since I was working night shift, and a child.
I mean, well, Connor's half that.
Yeah, you guys always say that, so I don't understand what's the problem here, Chuck.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I spent my weekend the way I enjoyed it.
Well, I was at first I thought you were just like ignoring us, and then I was like, well, maybe
never.
He's busy doing something. But then I didn't realize that you were up until 4 a.m. reading a book, you nerd.
It was a good book. It was Dan Abnett's newest shit, so I had to get on that.
So I am curious how the game went, because I asked Nick and he didn't give me a response. So how did the game go?
Well, maybe Nick was sleeping.
Maybe, because here's the thing too. I'm amazed that Nick actually went and played with you, because this was like 2 o'clock. We started this conversation once Connor actually woke up. Connor originally was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go play at like 6 or 7. And Nick's like, okay, well, I'm in for the day. And I'm like, go, Nick, go, come on, do it, go. And he's like, yeah, okay, I'll go. He's like, I'll do it, I'll probably be there. And then Connor's like, oh, actually, time zones are rough. It starts at 8.
It's not my fault. Listen, the person I had to rely on the time zone for gave me the wrong time zone entirely.
You're in the Pacific Northwest. Why are you looking at other time zones even?
He was giving us Mountainside time because that's where they're at, and he fucked it up.
Was he coming from the Mountain Time Zone?
No, it's for our like video game league, but we got people all over the US for it, so trying to organize times can be difficult.
Gotcha. Okay, I was thinking that you like somehow you never put in that part about like it was another event that you were getting the time for. So okay, all right, that makes more sense. I'm just amazed that Nick actually went out at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night to go play Kill Team, because I'm in pajamas. I'm home. I'm in bed on 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. I'm real fucking old. It's cool.
I mean, like, I get it. I like being home on a Saturday night by 8, but no, thankfully, Nick showed up. It was a great time. He brought his beautifully, always lovely painted Space Wolves, Angels of Death, and I grabbed the 6 first Marines I ever painted, and then 2 that were kind of newer, but I've done nothing other than base coats on them. So the quality of paint jobs was like the full range of painter's experience.
So how did the game go? Nick picked it up real quick, and I'm gonna win the tournament with him.
Definitely. No, yeah, Nick did solid. We played like on just open, because I was like, I'll introduce you to Beta Decima at a later point if you'd like, because it's not Beta Decima. Focus. Yeah, that's what it's called now, because it's stupidly complicated and there's a lot of stuff, and we just need to get you back into the saddle. And we did that. We played with like a custom board of some of the like Volcus, not buildings, but it's the wall terrain, a little bit like the Chalnath looking stuff, and then some Beta Decima like walls, and set up just a basic board. We just played Secure, I think, and just shot each other up and played the game. And he beat me. He tabled me by like the start of turn 3.
Well, good. Apparently he's doing something right, or you're doing something really wrong. Either way, I mean, I
may have like stayed out in the open more than I normally would. Just to like, sure, like, here, Nick, this is what you want to do. You want to shoot and like learn to recognize the opportunities. But no, he played well. He recognized it. I was giving him some advice. Like, here's what I do. It was pretty funny because the game was even more lethal than normal because there was a decent amount of cover. But both of us brought the thing that gives us saturate, so no retaining dice, which was very amusing.
Did you play the game with Nick like he's never played a game of Kill Team ever?
What do you mean by that?
Were you like, all right, Nick, it'd be a shame if you shot this guy. I ran out into the middle.
No, nothing like that.
This is how you do a shoot action, Nick.
No, I mean, it was more of like just explaining the differences from second to third now with like how obscurity's changed. And then a little bit of the big thing, at least for Angels of Death, is how like, their doctrine ploys have been all converted into one. And then like the Shatter tactics, how those are entirely different. But I mean, like, I made some like not like leaving guys out in the open, but this, far more riskier plays than I would ever do if it was like for a tournament where I'd charge out in the open and be like, fuck it, if I rolls all sixes, this is great. But if I don't, I'm going to take a bunch of damage back type of deal.
Well, thank you for getting a game in with him. He's working on some recas right now in like yellow armor that have, I think it's going to be like reclaimed Imperial Fists armor, because
Oh, very cool.
he's putting decals on him. He's got some Imperial Fist decals, I think, that he's going to use for him. Actually, I think I need to look.
That's going to be good.
I'm supposed to give him some of mine too. So he's going to play Rekkas. I'm playing Commandos. I got my third ever game of Commandos in this weekend with Jeremy Spake, actually, down at Board Bard, where our tournament's going to be. He brought his cops, and so for the second straight week in a row, I did nothing with my leader because a fucking shield cop smashed his head in. Like, those shield cops are nasty.
So gross. Melee. They're so gross if you get into melee with them. I run away and shoot them now.
Yeah, I mean, I live in fear of cops in general, but the shield cops in the Exaction Squad team are really, really nasty. So it was a fun game. Jeremy brought his Volcus terrain that he just finished painting, which looks amazing. I think he's actually going to bring it so we can put it up at our tournament too.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. So his stuff always looks so good. I remember we were chatting through his painting process. He was getting stuck, and I encouraged him, and it turned out fantastic. His stuff is beautiful.
Yeah, he even, like, I was noticing some of the details on his terrain, like, that piece on Volcus that's got I think it's one of the light pieces of terrain that's got the, like, I don't know, it's like a pile of rocks that's got the cap, or like to one of the cylinders in it. Do you know which piece I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He's got that, and just like picked out some of the like rock details in between the rubble and stuff, and it just like added so much. I was looking, he went and did some chipping on the side of those buildings and stuff. It just looks amazing. So, and his cops are painted amazingly as well too. He's like, oh, they're like 75% done. I'm like, these are so good.
He's so good. Like, he's one of those people, and I know you're listening to this, Jeremy, because you do every week. You're one of those people that's just like a perfectionist. You're like, oh, he's talking about his Andrew WK Chaplain that he just finished up. If you haven't seen that, incredible. Absolutely crazy good.
Yeah, he posted that in the hobby stuff. His what are they? I can't remember the name of the leader. What's the name of the leader for the cops?
The Castigator.
No, Cascader's the handcuff.
But the one that like
Proctor Exacting,
yeah, his awesome kit bash.
Yeah, he used some commissars actually to make his Proctor Exactants. So, but yeah, super fun game. I beat him by like 4 points, but had some pretty good rolls. I have no idea how to use the knob. The boss knob. I know how to use the other knob. Barely. I don't know. I get him. I've played 2 competitive games in a row with him where he's done absolutely zero. So, Tyler, what am I doing wrong with my knob?
I mean, I can't tell you that until you use it on me. So
that's fair. Maybe I'll get a chance to use it on you in a couple weekends.
Absolutely, we'll see.
Connor, you're not going to make it down for this tournament, right?
No, I unfortunately can't. I'm sending some representatives in the form of Eric and Owen. They're coming down from Gig Harbor, so I hope they have a good time.
Yeah, I think I think Eric is transporting Zaren's plastic crack back to him, because Zaren had to do this like deal where a dude met me at Mine Taker, and then I'm going to meet Eric at Board Bard, and then Eric's going to take the plastic back up to Zaren. It's I think it's the Leviathan Lieutenant that I'm guessing for his Phobos.
Oh, nice. The guy with all the Terminator, or not Terminator, Tyranid armor.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh, speaking of armor, Nick has your Blood Angels Terminator piece. It's in his small dice bag.
Sweet, thanks, dude. I'm making a Terminator captain.
Boo.
That's got a power fist and a combi plasma, so I can run him as a captain in Angels of Death.
Terminators and Kill Team. Boo. No, that'll look really cool. Actually, I'm glad you're able to make a very cool Blood Angels character.
Yeah, I had to squeeze him onto the base because he's normally on a 50 millimeter, and I had to put him on a 40, so he hangs over a little bit, but it'll be fine. I'm not gonna play him for anything competitive. Speaking of that, Tyler, do you or Connor actually, do you either of you have like a 60 millimeter base that I can steal from you?
I probably do.
Probably.
Yeah.
Me and Josh Stroll did a plastic trade, and I'm missing a 60 millimeter base
What do you
from
need
one of
for
those.
a 60 mil?
The fetid bloat drone, actually. I gave him some plague marines.
Ah, nice. Okay.
So, but yeah. So I'm also, as far as a hobby piece, I've been working on my Vespids. Actually, having a really good time painting those. They've been fun. They're almost like power armor because the carapaces they have on them are all. I was able to airbrush a bunch of it, but I've been having fun like going back and picking out some details and trying to mess with some highlights and stuff. I'm pretty much done with them. I'm kind of bored with them too, so I'm gonna pretty much call them done. But I may run those out just for some casual stuff. So. Um, in a little bit sadder news, we mentioned last week a player in the Kill Team community, Chris, who had um, pancreatitis and was in the hospital, and we had a GoFundMe up for him. And unfortunately, he did pass. So we're going to be posting the GoFundMe again to help support his family. He was apparently very well liked in the Kill Team community. I never had a chance to meet him, but the people that speak of him speak very highly of him. So if you can help out with the GoFundMe for his family. He does leave a wife and a child behind, so it's unfortunately a sad moment for the Kill Team community.
Rest in power, dude.
Definitely. I saw a lot of people posting when the news dropped of like photos of them with him at like events and stuff, and there was nothing but kind words. So wherever you're at, man, hope you're feeling better and that you know that you'll be very missed.
Yeah, it's a sad moment. So, but um, yeah, we got a tournament coming up in like a week and a half. Tyler, you're on the fence about who you're bringing. Are you doing
Yep.
anything special to prep for the tournament? What's the last time you played? Actually, I mean, when's the last time you played a tournament? Was it
Last tournament we
Tacoma?
played was no. I mean, like we had the winter ones. We played in December.
That's right.
So and also played at Emily's prep tournament, that little one. So I got a little bit of a few games under my belt, and I didn't do too bad at either of those events. So um, we'll see. It should be. I'm excited to play. I'm definitely going to be pushing a little bit harder at this next event, and then also at Sean's at the Cascade Kill Zone in early March. So
Yeah, did you get your ticket? I got my ticket this week.
yeah, I got my ticket. So I'm excited. That's going to be thrilling. So we'll see. I may bring out goats to give a little bit of a competition practice with them. But again, Hand of the Archon are still my favorite. I think that there's a little bit of untapped tech there that I kind of want to play.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rekkas for it. The only reason I'm not playing Rekkas for the team tournament, I'm going Rekkas for Sean's tournament and probably Adepticon. It's because Nick's playing Rekkas, and I'm assuming we both can't play the same team, so that's why I'm
No.
playing with the Commandos.
I like that you're both
Unfortunately.
embracing the full orky theme for it, like doing matching guys. Are you gonna make like a display board together for the both of them?
I was thinking about it, so I'm sure Nick will want to stay up till like 1 o'clock in the morning to make a display board because that's how Nick does. So, yeah, I was thinking I'm thinking, and here I'll just spitballing. So Nick, you can take this and run with it. I'm thinking what we do is, since you've got like one team that's like up front and in your face and blowing shit up, we have a board and my guys, Nick's guys are kind of in a city rubble, whereas my guys are in more of like just city streets. So I'm thinking we put the commandos at the back of the board, kind of like in streets that haven't been really destroyed as much, and then you put the Rekkas at the front of the board in streets that are like broken up more. Our paint skins, I think will be pretty close. Mine are pretty much box art because that's what I do. But yeah, I think we'll probably try and do something. So, but Nick needs to finish up his recas first before we can actually, and we got to play, because I'm gonna make him, when he gets down here next Friday, I'm gonna make him play a game with the recas too, so I can show him, because I don't know if you know this, I'm like top 40 player in the world with recas because they're brand new and I played a big tournament. So, I'm kind of I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but I mean, you can say that if you want.
I mean, out of the people in the world right now, you're in the top 100, top 50. So, I mean, like, that's good. How many people can say that about anything?
Yeah. No, when I was trying to, so a couple years ago when I was playing Cascade, and I was like number 1 in the US, number 2 in the world with Cascade, I was trying to explain to Jenna that, like, I'm the second best player of this one team in this small niche game in the world. Do you know how many people can say that? She was not impressed. Not at all. No.
That's a bummer.
Actually, she wasn't. I don't think she really understood how small and niche it was. So actually, I mean, she was very supportive. She's like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool." But yeah, I don't think she was actually really impressed. It's one of those buddy. Like, it's one of those where your nephew or your kid brings you up a picture that they drew, and they're like, "Look, I did this." And like, "Oh my gosh, this is so great. Let me put this on the fridge." It was like that.
I mean, I love moments like that. I remember briefly after the first Tacoma, back when I played against Chris and came in second. That was a pretty big event for Kill Team, and I was ranked, I want to say, in like the top 10 in the world or something like that for a very brief moment until another tournament happened in Spain. And like, I said it as much as I could, like, oh yeah, I'm like 10th in the world right now. No big deal.
Yeah. I don't know if you got Connor, you might maybe remember. Tyler, I don't know. Do you guys remember NFL Fever on the original Xbox?
No, not at all.
So I, at one point, was number 10 in the world. Me and my buddy, we played together, and we were number 10 in the world on Xbox Live for NFL Fever.
That's actually pretty cool, because like Xbox Live has a big draw.
At this time it didn't, though. You actually had to like yeah, it was back in the day when you would buy an Xbox Live membership, you actually got a headset when you bought it too. This is like original
I remember
Xbox.
that. Yeah, I remember seeing the ads for those.
And actually, for the longest time, I had printed out the like leaderboard and had it framed in kind of my office. I think I got rid of it.
That's a shame. You should have still had that, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's time to move on. I've grown up. I've got bigger goals and bigger accomplishments since then. Actually, I really don't have anything. But
yeah. Well, on that note, gentlemen, we would, where can we find you?
You can find me at Painted Cave Minis on Instagram. I might post something.
You can post your commandos, because I don't think I've ever seen them.
Yeah, I can post my commandos. Yeah. What about you, Tyler?
You can find me on Lowbrow Minis, and then dicethrower.bigcartel.com. You can find us on Vox Cascadia, Vox_Cascadia, or do we? Is it?
It's
just
all
Vox
one
Cascadia?
word now.
Okay, cool. And then Connor, if you're gonna post Mechanicus Monday, it's got to be like on Monday.
I posted on Monday.
It was like 11:59.
It was
59.
It was like 11:15 when I uploaded it.
You gotta post like in the day so that people can see it on Monday.
Listen, that's totally fair. My energy on Mondays is a low time, though. So
come on, I know that you work a government job.
Listen, government jobs right now suck even more than normal. Okay, I'm getting emails about how we can't talk about Black History Month. This shit is bad.
I mean, like, it's fucked. So use your time to waste government time and make a post every Monday morning. You got to go to the bathroom, make an Instagram post on company time.
That's fair.
At Spanaway on everything.
Yeah, the federal dollars.
Tax dollars at work.
Yeah.
If you would like to support a Patreon, we're patreon.com/Vox Cascadia podcast. One thing too, I want to talk about real quick before we dip out. Rob, Hobby Highlander, Rob McLeod, he sent us a suggestion that we're going to do maybe next week, called Sweat Court. And Sweat Court is basically he described it, and I really like this idea. We've got some ideas from the Discord, but if you have ideas, jump into Discord and give these to us. So basically it's we're gonna have a judge, and someone brings up a legal but possibly sketchy play, and the judge decides if he thinks the play is fair or kind of sweaty, needs a warning at the start of the game, or bad sportsmanship. So my example was, and it's kind of came up this weekend, is the grot for the commandos, and playing surveillance just feels dumb and broken. It's basically like a free 9 points because he's super conceal and he zips around the board and you can't do anything about it. So is that, so what we'll do is we'll have a ruling, we'll argue the case, whether it's good, bad, sweaty, or what. So, and if you have ideas about stuff that you would like us to adjudicate and rule on, and this is actually going to be like, you can bring stuff back from the old edition too. It doesn't have to be current edition, because there's a lot of weird stuff in the old edition, and we can go back and that'll be case law that we can use going forward. Jump into Discord, let us know, and we will. I think we're gonna see about bringing Greg on, and he's gonna help us too.
Do I need to buy a suit?
Yes, actually, you do need to buy a suit.
Shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
yep. Go down to your local Goodwill and pick up a nice oversized suit.
I can look like a kid in their dad's suit type of deal.
Exactly. You look like a kid in everything. What was that?
Not that small.
Yeah. But yes, so if you would like to take part in that, we would love to get your submissions for it, and what you would like us to argue about and rule on, and see if it's legal, if it's sweaty, or if it's just bad sportsmanship. So Torment Grenade is definitely going to be in there, and I can tell you how I'm going to argue for that. So, but talking old edition Torment Grenade, this edition, it's not even a thing. So
it's not until I use it on you.
Yeah, I mean, you probably just bring goats. Don't I just don't want to see.
They got one too. They got one that's just as bad, man.
But I don't have the PTSD from that one. Like multiple times I was like, all right, my guys are more than 2 inches apart, and they're like, I'm gonna drop it right in the middle of those two guys. I'm like, fuck.
This seems like a learning curve issue.
Mm-hmm. Skill issue.
Skill issue. That's my favorite thing. I love when people say that. So
yeah, get good, noob.
Yeah, get good, noob. So, well, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Connor, you have 30 seconds for your AdMech corner of the week.
Okay. I saw a cool post on Reddit where someone's going to use Horus Heresy models for the Mechanicum to represent Chaos models, like Chaos Space Marines. And I'm like, that's actually a cool idea. I have most of those models. So now I'm going to, when a couple more plastic Mechanicum kits come out, I'm going to have a Chaos Space Marine army.
Mechanicum.
Hey.